and Deeptika Laurent joins me on set. Hi, Deepti.
Hi, Rochelle.
You're starting with a pretty gruesome story, the mysterious deaths of two Saudi sisters in New York.
Certainly a mystery that's left investigators puzzled, at least according to USA Today. Rotana and Tala Faria were found dead floating in the Hudson River last week. The women were fully clothed, facing each other, and bound together with duct tape. According to the medical examiner, they were still alive when they entered the water, and now investigators in the U.S. are trying to figure out what exactly happened and how they died. Media reports say that the women's mother told investigators that the day before their deaths, she received a phone call from the Saudi embassy informing her that the family's application for residency in the U.S. was under threat because the sisters had applied for immigration asylum. It's all very mysterious, as you see from the Saudi paper. They're also headlining on it, Arab News. The NYPD and Saudi officials, for the moment, are denying the asylum claims.
OK, well, here in France, there's a big health scandal over several babies born with limb defects that some are saying may be linked to environmental factors.
Well, France is launching a national investigation into the so-called bébés sans bras, or babies without arms scandal. This is making the front page of Le Parisien newspaper today. The families affected by this tragedy want answers now. This is after you had initial claims that 7 infants born with abnormalities in the eastern French department of l'Ain this was already brought forward. Then we had 11 new cases of babies being born without arms or with missing limbs, also in the same region. This has prompted this national probe now, all of this dating back to the last 18 years or so. Concerns now that environmental factors, as you said, or pesticides could have impacted the mother's pregnancy and affected these births, but still more light needs to be shed.
Indeed. Right, we're talking now about an extraordinary plot to bring down the US Special Counsel Robert Mueller, who's, of course, investigating collusion between President Donald Trump's campaign and Russia.
That campaign, of course, dating back to 2016. A catastrophically inept plot. That's how The Independent has put it. It was a plot that was foiled by a series of emails. Now, initially, emails revealing that a woman was offered money to make false sexual assault allegations against Robert Mueller. This after Mueller's office also announced that it had asked the FBI to investigate another similar claim. One of these women was allegedly approached by a company called Surefire Intelligence, and the client possibly linked or being a prominent Donald Trump supporter. All of this just speculation for the moment. That woman actually refused to comply, and when she revealed what happened, this is how this plot was foiled. Now, that, of course, Robert Mueller is involved in investigating Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. Looking forward to a more pressing campaign, that's the midterms in the U.S. next week. It's making the front page of the French magazine L'Obs, which is asking on its front page, I quote, "Is Donald Trump screwed?" You'll note also France 24's logo just on the bottom there. This edition of L'Obs is in partnership with France 24 and its midterm coverage.
OK, we're taking a closer look now at a cold case mystery in the Vatican that seems very fitting around this sort of Halloween time.
A very eerie story and very not trivial at all. Emanuela Orlandi, she was the daughter of a Vatican bank employee. She vanished without a trace in 1983. She was last seen getting into a dark green BMW, which was never found. Her disappearance, the source of conspiracy theories from her being a Vatican sex slave to her father, allegedly being linked to organized crime, and even ties to the Turkish gunman who injured Pope John Paul II in 1981. Now, new human bones have been found on the site of the Vatican grounds, this during some renovation work that's reignited all these conspiracy theories about whether those bones indeed belong to Orlandi. A Vatican spokesman tells the Daily Beast that it's not sure for the moment. Even if it did, it still won't solve the mystery of how she got there.
OK, well, finally, Deepti, some new additions to the 2018 edition of the Brewer's Dictionary, which you might say is the dictionary of the common people.
Or the common language, indeed, Rochelle. It's called the Brewer's Dictionary of Folklore and Fable. They aim to tabulate all the words left out by the more serious dictionaries like Oxford or Cambridge dictionaries. So this year's edition features words like covfefe, that's Donald Trump's viral misspelt word that kind of took on a life life of its own. Other terms include, I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing this, hygge, the Danish term for comfort and gentle living. You also have fubbing. I don't know if you know what fubbing is.
No. What is it?
Fubbing is the act of phone snubbing, i.e. looking at your cell phone instead of speaking or paying attention to the person who's in front of you.
I may have been guilty of that 1 or 2 times. I may be a fubber.
You might be a fubber. There's also, finally, milkshake duck. I'm not sure if you know what that is. It's a term, I don't know where they get these words from, a term referring to an internet meme that amuses and charms people before they discover a sinister or flawed backstory. A good word for a very useful term in the end. For a full list, you can, of course, check out this article from The Telegraph.
Oh, we'll have to check it out indeed. Deepti, thank you so much for that. Deepti Laurent there with the press review. Remember, if you'd like to take a closer look at any of those stories, do head to our website, france24.com.